Good morning, friends. Good morning, friends. I believe this morning I don't have enemies. I only have friends here. Is that right? Um, can we move this here? Am I right? Am I right? Please, can you just give me a hand quickly? Thank you. Yes, you. Just come. Yeah. I want you to help me move this way. Greatest Futarian. Okay. It's like we are just warming up, right? Please, if you are seated at the back, can you move to the front? I believe this is where it begins, right? Greatness. Uh, there is something about great people. They always want to be in the front because somehow, either you like it or not, great things happens in the front. Am I right? Yes. Am I right? I know there's a natural tendency for um, some people to feel, no, where I sit doesn't really matter. Sometimes it does. It does. If I say the first person to get to the front gets 1,000 naira, I'm sure you know that whoever is seated in the front row will be the first to get it, isn't it? So let's do that quickly. I want to appreciate the Vice Chancellor in absentia. I want to appreciate the Dean Student Affairs, all our counselors, um, the university PRO. I believe I got it right. I met Daddy once. Maybe Daddy will not remember. It was during I can't really remember, but it was at T.I. Francis dissertation. Yes, I stood by your side. It was such a great honor. Let's celebrate our father. Let's do that. Is that the best we can do? Let's appreciate Dr. and Mrs. Olusanya. Mommy has been a blessing. Mommy has been saving lives since 1990s. All right. This morning, I'll be sharing with you. I promise you it's going to be exciting. I'm not a boring person, so don't expect a boring session. At the same time, I promise you that it will be interactive. I have a lot to share this morning with you, but I would like to first, let's start with a dialogue. Then after that, I will just go straight up into the beautiful and sumptuous menu that I have for you this morning. Is that all right? Is that all right? Okay, great. So let me introduce myself. I'm David Odinla Fapohunda. I graduated from Futa 2014, came back for master's, graduated 2019, and currently Futa says I'm doing PhD. All right, but aside my academics, or what you call my academic endeavors, I started an organization in 2016 with the name Teens of Africa. How many of you have seen that online or heard about it? All right, thank you for hearing about it. Teens of Africa is a Pan-African Christian organization. And what we basically do is to reach out to young people. We transform them with the truth into visionaries, and from visionaries into highflyers and kingdom influencers. All right. You have some of our team members around, so if you need to connect with us and learn more about what we do, freely do that after this session. Also, during my engagement with you, a registration slip will be passed around. I want to volunteer to mentor as many persons as would want me to mentor them. It's just that by my nature, I don't come with the records, but we have all sorts of records with what you can get. And the beautiful thing is mentorship is free. All right. I can literally cast my mind back to 2018, right? When I met them, then they were freshers like you. They are still fresh because the toil of the university didn't make them go stale. Let me crack a little joke. When you're in 100 level, they call you freshers. My prayer for you this morning is that till you graduate, you will remain fresh. Because there is another name they call people after 100 level. They call them stay lights. If you remove the ITES, what do you have? You know what it means for a food to be stale? It has lost its value. And I'm telling you, so let me share a bit of my experience with you. I've been working directly with teenagers and youths, clearly for the past 15 to 16 years. All right? Clap if you want to clap. And thank you for clapping. Directly, I've worked for 2 years with Futa as a teaching assistant. So I can say somewhat, for the first time, some of my assertions, sometimes when you speak the way I do, you do not necessarily have a formal training, all right, but you have a divine training, and a divine training sometimes can be tricky. I remember, although quite sad a memory, my first and about only time with the former HOD of the counseling department is now going to be with the Lord. I think he's a prof, right? He's a doctor, Dr. Arijesonyo, yes. So as I sat in his office at the Student Affairs, and I was sharing my views, my perspective, the little contribution I wanted to make to the Futa community as Student Affairs work and counseling is concerned, he made a statement that was shocking. He said, "Where did you get all this from?" He said, "You're not a trained counselor from a university." I said, "Yes." He said, "Only God could have told you all those." All right, so I've had to work in counseling for many years within the university, outside the university. But there are many things I taught as principles, but I had first-hand opportunity to validate them in the 2 years I worked with biology department as a teaching assistant. I saw students who have no business with carryover courses. I saw students who have no business talking about emotional breakdown. Many of them, they are dead, but they are still alive, if you know what I'm talking about. They come to class with beautiful makeups on their faces, but you can tell they have lost it. Just imagine when a beautiful lady is talking to you smiling, then when you start talking, she's still talking and smiling, then all of a sudden you paid attention to the fact that tears are now rolling down her cheeks. Why? I've had too many questions of students asking me, "Sir, why am I just knowing this now? Sir, I wish I met you when I was in 100 level." As an undergraduate, a classmate of mine, she calls me by this name, Teacher Me, in Yoruba. My teacher, she was my classmate. We had a conversation in 500 level, and she made this very scary statement. She said, "David, why are you just telling me all this now? Meanwhile, we were never close till then." Now, this goes to tell you that there are lots of things that students go through on campus, and I'm telling you, you have no business going through those things. But sometimes there is an assumption that they are mature adults. For instance, some of you here seated could be plugged with airport because you're wondering, "Yeah, let's just come, it's an orientation program." That is why I think it's just about 10% of fresh students that attend orientation. If you check the statistics, yeah. If I want to be a bit liberal, I would say about 30%. Yes. But the other side of it is this, that your best shot at helping any student on campus is just within the first 2 months. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? What I'm about to tell you now, except probably you were invited into a paid speaking engagement, or probably if you're a Christian, you attended a campus fellowship, and I was invited to speak to you, there is every likelihood that if anybody after 2 months on this campus sits you down to talk to you, you won't give them a listening ear. Because once you get deep a little bit into the system, there is a natural deception that you know what to do. Yes. A few days ago, I was around SAT, and I was just talking to some freshers, and I noticed the passion, with which some freshers, they were just walking by, and the post, they were like, "Sir, can we join the conversation?" Why? Because when you're on campus, It's new. In fact, I don't need to know if you're a fresher. All right, I didn't study psychology, but I do psychology a lot. All right, I've greeted many people, and I didn't need the Holy Ghost to tell me that they were freshers. They look like one. There is a way freshers look. You can see all sort of questions written on their face, either the stress from the registration, and mind you, none of you has gone through 1/10 of the stress we went through while doing registration during our whole time. I mean, people will literally collapse on. Put your hands together for Futa. Come on, come on, come on. Registration is now made easy. You queue for every single thing, and sometimes the signature you never need. All right. And the funniest thing those times is they will tell you to go and download a form online, only to come back and get the signature on ground. You'll be like, why can't we just download everything with the signature? Put hands together for Futa again. We are really innovating, and I love that. So, what I'm about to share with you this morning are proven fundamental principles that have saved many lives on this campus. It has produced first-class students. In fact, let me share a testimony with you. Many years back, it should be about 5 years now. Yes, 5 years. My brother tagged me on a post on Facebook. There was this young lady that I spoke to like this, but it wasn't in the hall. It was just on the walkway. Hello, young lady, how are you doing? You're in 100 level. Can I talk to you for a minute? Oh, yes, all right. And I just shared and shared and shared, and boom, that was all. Seldom we will meet, on campus. She would greet me, sir, yeah, take care. How are you doing? How is the result? I never knew that she went on to finish with the first class. And when she graduated on Facebook, she wrote how a single conversation with me transformed her entire academic journey. And she tagged me. She mentioned my name. So my brother saw the post and said, hey, David, come and see what you did on Facebook. I'm trying to share this testimonial with you to realize that what I'm about to share with you is not just in a bid to speak good English and waste your beautiful time and drop the microphone and get out of here. And that is why I've decided to ensure that this has been live streamed right now. Aside that, I've decided to ensure that it's been recorded so you can get the version, but either the visual version or the recorded version, all right, and listen again and again. I've had other engagements in Futa Radio where I was asked to talk about exam preparation. I have all this information documented so none of you will lose any of it. Finally, next week Saturday, and please do your best to tell your friends, I know that because of the limitness of the time I have here, I will not be able to cover extensively the things I want to share with you. All right, there is something about you knowing everything you need to know to have the best result on all sides on campus. And I'm willing to teach you for free. Not this one, next Saturday, 24th of June. The venue for now is at ETF. All right, 750 capacity auditorium. Get every fresher that you care about in your department to be there. I'm starting by 9 a.m. Once it's past 9, say 30 minutes past 9, I shut the door, and I will be sure that whoever gets in before then really meant business. All right, the details of the flyer will be shared to you through the contact you drop in the list being passed around. So can we get fully started now? I decided to do all that to buy some of you who came a bit behind schedule some time. All right, so I want to start by talking to you this morning about the beauty of the beginning. It doesn't matter how old you are. Maybe you had to write jam 5-6 times. Congratulations, you're now in Futa. Put your hands together for yourselves. Now, in case you think, wow, this is not really the course I really wanted to study. Many people are still trying to get the course of their study, and I bet it with you for the next 3-4 years, they will never get that course. Now, not because I'm not a prophet of doom. Now, can I shock you? Eventually, when they get the course and they graduate, they will say they don't need a certificate. So for getting admission at this time, and let me tell you, admission this year is very tough. You know why? If I'm right, we had to make 2 sessions into one. So it means that double of this number is what you should have normally in a normal admission year. So if you're here, you are seated, I don't know, either you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, or whatever religion you are affiliated to, can you just lift up your hands and say, thank you, God, for bringing me in here? Can you say that? I pray for as many of you whose hands are lifted up, you will collect your certificate with your own hands. Yeah, you won't receive a posthumous certificate. All right, so what happens at the beginning? I will highlight some. The first thing is the innocence is still intact. Many of you do not know anything around. So in case some of you want to share the live stream, all right, just type TEE on YouTube or Facebook. Just type Teens of Africa on Facebook, on YouTube. Please do well to follow and like, subscribe, as the case may be. TEENSHUB Africa, Teens of Africa. That is the live stream point, all right. So as I was saying, innocence is still intact. Where's Abimbola? Oh, great. Come over here. Quickly, put your hands together for her. I want to share my, hey, okay. I believe you can all see her, right? Beautiful sister, isn't it? Virtuous indeed. I remember my first encounter with her. I was selling manuals, biology manual, in biology department. And I saw this young lady worked in. Yeah, it's been over 5 years. All thanks to ASU strike and I think COVID-19, right? Yeah. So I saw this, you can imagine what she looks like 5 years ago. Skinny. What attracted me to her was the powder on her face. She looked like someone that is just newly been taught how to jazzy. Now, the powder looked like pomade on her face. And I remember she was wearing this slim, tight gown. And, you know, I had one of her sisters. She's married now. She's married to our vice president. And, you know, I just signaled to her. I said, follow that lady up, all right? And here she is today. She's a wonder to many generations. That day, what I saw on her face was innocence. Innocence. There are many young ladies who came into the campus as virgins. In fact, some are so naive that they don't know, they are not still sure when they are on. You will be surprised the level of innocence, or what you call ignorance, that many young people have. And don't blame most people. There are females that the first time, it was on this campus. I know a girl that the first time she will ever hug a guy was on campus. And in fact, that guy was me. I think it was her birthday, if I remember. Out of excitement, hey. So when I hugged her, I noticed she held me still. I was like, it was just to greet you. I said, hope you're fine. She said it's the first time she will hug a male. Now think about it. What if I wasn't a believer, but I was a slayer? I said, oh, your first time of receiving a hug, let me teach you some more. There are many shades of innocence. Even if you did pre-degree, I want to announce to you that pre-degree is nothing like being in 100 level. Yes. Even if you do UABS, it's nothing like being in 100 level. So as you're here, regardless of your age, I want to announce to you that you have certain shades of innocence, and it's beautiful. The only danger is that within the walls of this campus, I will say some things without apologies. I say what I'm saying from what I know. There are students in your level waiting to exploit your innocence. There are departmental escorts. As you girls and guys came into, is it departmental registration? They're already scouting. What's the name of that babe? Did you see her shape? What's her name? Nota. And they will be telling you, so there are student union leaders waiting to take their court, yes? There are campus leaders in the Christian community, in the Muslim community, waiting to take their court. Now, Futa says courtism is now zero. I believe, but help my unbelief. I believe there will probably still be one or two court members who, as fellowship members, are going about with their beautiful beeps saying, come to our fellowship, come to this. There will be court members trying to scout. That guy is huge. That guy is gentle. I think you would. There will be other organization in actors, I think JCI, right? Who will be talking to young people. Do you like innovation? There will be tech orbs, right? Trying to encourage 100-level students to enlist into tech. I'm saying that literally, you guys are products. You don't just know it yet. And on this campus, I didn't mention lecturers. Waiting to take their court. As you come around, they are scouting. Yes, that is the reality. You are a product. And every single person you meet are investors. The highest bidder wants to claim you. But the big question this morning is, what are you going to do with your innocence? We will know that in a moment. 2. Thank you. Please go back to your seat. Please celebrate now. When you're in 100 level, you have no victories yet. Because you have fought no battles yet. How many of you realize that right now in this building, the valedictorian for your set, class 2028, is seated here? Who am I talking about? Did you hear what I just said? The best graduating student for your set may be seated right beside you. Who am I talking about? Who am I talking about? Look at your neighbor and say, do you look like it? Say, I will dust you, I will dust you, I will dust you. None of you have carryovers yet. None of you girls have aborted yet, or ladies yet. None of you have been harassed by any lecturer or student yet. We do not have on-campus rape case yet. None of you have been initiated into any court group yet. You have no battles to be fought yet. I mean, you have fought no battles yet, so you have no victories yet. And why is it important? It's important because what it means is that every single one of you seated here this morning have an equal chance to be the best that God has designed you to be. So right now you have no business wondering if you will finish with a first class, regardless of your department. None of you have been thrown. Some of you had to also a lot to get to pay your school fees, to get to pay your acceptance fee. Some of you are this statement, remember the son of whom you are, because you know the financial situation at home. But I'm telling you that all those can't define you yet, because Futa doesn't know if the best out of you exists yet. Number 3, no major lessons learned yet. No major mistakes made yet. Right now in this room, what I'm saying are younger people full of potentials. You've made no mistakes yet because you have not made attempts yet. You've not failed any tests yet. You've not failed any exams yet. Why? You've not even written. You have not come late for any lectures yet. No lecturer has caught you in examination malpractices yet. You still have clean sheet. And what is the advantage? The advantage is right now you have the single opportunity to set a beautiful record for yourself that will last you a lifetime. Number 4, you have no scars yet, just fears. Whatever scar you came in with this morning is the scar you came in with probably through your secondary school, your primary school, on your street, in your church, but you have no Futa customized scar yet. And it means that you have every chance to graduate without a single scar. And I'm you explain the daughter of a pastor who almost killed herself right in the house from abortion, complication from abortion, until today. It means you have not sustained any major injuries yet. What is the advantage? It means that right now you have a blank sheet to make the best decisions that will set you on a beautiful course for the rest of your life. The only thing you have right now are just fears. And I'm telling you right now, regardless of where you came from, regardless of the smiles on your face, I can see it reading on your face. Many of you have the what if, the what will be, what will I do, the many what ifs, what ifs, what ifs. But the beautiful thing this morning is you have everything it takes to seize the what ifs and make it worthwhile. Number 5, many of you have lots of assumptions. If I can just read for 4 hours, I will finish with the first class. If I can just set a target and I will write mathematics, MTS 101, 90A. How many of you have done that already? Come on. How many of you have done that already? Chemistry 101, 90A. Now, chances are that in your rooms, many of you had gone ahead to post your target. I'm going to be this. You are high on motivation and what you call it, affirmation, right? Words of affirmation. Some of you probably have started very early every morning as you wake up. I affirm that I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. Am I relating with you this morning? Talk back to me. Can you connect with what I'm saying? Another sad reality is that many of you seated here, you have already frustration because the course you wanted to study is not the course you were offered. Do I have some persons like that here? And even though you are there, you are just hoping that another jam would just come up and you would just pass the jam and you would tell Futa, goodbye. And usually what happens is that such students, and please pay attention, in case you meet someone who says that is our case or his case, the problem is that such persons will go through the first year absent-minded. They are hoping that a miracle will happen and they would pass jam again and they will be given the course of their choice. And the sad story is sometimes it never happens. Sometimes they try to get it done in the next 1 year, 2 years. You are stuck in a department. You are not excelling because the Bible says that if your eyes are single, your body will be full of light. So because your eyes is, you are thinking about OAU, you are thinking about Futa, you are thinking medicine, you are thinking biology. You can't do well in biology, and guess what? You can't even do well. You can't even gain admission. And sometimes, woo, it works. And you tell your friends, I told you I'm going. Oh, sorry, friends, I'll miss you. Yeah, it's been a beautiful experience coming to Futa, but I know I didn't belong here in the first place. Lots of frustration because the course you wanted to study is not the one you were offered. But many people have been offered courses like me. I wanted to study microbiology. And I believe with all due respect, I qualified because I know people who didn't score as much as I did. All right? And they studied microbiology. We talk later on. Yeah, they didn't study microbiology. But I was thrown, as you would say, in the biology. And I'm telling you today, Futa didn't make a mistake because I knew that my life was designed by God. And studying biology for 5 years within this campus till tomorrow was never a mistake. Yeah. Yeah. We will talk about those in a moment. The sixth or seventh reality about the beginning is that it is the stage of seeding. Timmy, I'm sure, is going to be graduating with a first class. He has an international business as I speak. When I met Timmy in 100 level, alongside with some of his friends, Timmy would go on to say, that single moment changed my life forever. Currently, he's on an international trip. If not, I would have brought him here to just talk to you for a minute. 100 level is very critical because that is the moment where you are seeded. You are not just products, you are also soil. And what you don't realize is that right now, what is happening in the orientation is that seeds are being sown into your heart. And I'm sure you know that when you get into a plot of land, what makes you say this is a maize plantation is not because the soil is called a maize. Am I right? Am I right? Because if after the end of the planting season, the farmer decides to plant mango on that plot, when you come in, years after, what would you say? Talk back to me. Mango plantation, isn't it? Oh, I thought it was the same soil. No, the seed defines the soil. Right now, some of you probably have met students who say, all right, won't suffer any. GP or GP logba. Yeah. Some of you would have met guys, all right, maybe in 200 level, in 300 level, tell you, guy, as you find rich like this, I'll be one mama quite tell you, I hear me. Timba find to have one mama for me log by any. And this young man, yes, he knows he's handsome. He looks in the mirror, but he had a previous understanding about his handsomeness. He believes it's a gift from God, and it has nothing to do with destroying the lives of females. But guess what? Ideas direct your perspective. So when as this guy goes to his hostel, standing in front of the mirror, he stares at himself and says, Somebody just redefined his entire purpose with a single conversation. You start hearing people saying, oh, go and ask our seniors. Those who even finish with first class. How many of them have jobs now? Can I announce to you that if you finish with the first class and you are stranded, you are not stranded because you finished with the first class. You were stranded because the only thing you gave yourself to on campus was books. Did you hear me? And this is one of my fears, all right, because we overemphasize one aspect over the other. When we call you a graduate, you ought to grow holistically. This is the reason why you observe that some 2-2 graduate, 2-1 graduate, sometimes go on to do better than first class students. You know why? Being a first class graduate does not always make you the first in the class. Have you met first class students that the only thing about their life is book? They smell, they can't even speak good English. I've met some. I won't mention the departments they are. They are very good with calculations. They are master crammers. They graduated first class on the strength of cramming. But when it comes to solving real life problems, they're nowhere to be found. And listen to me, the next few years after your graduation is not going to test your ability to cram. It's going to test your ability to solve real life problems. This is where relationship skills come in. Are we together? That is why if the only thing you do, some of you, your parents are telling you, I did not send you to go to fellowship, or his book I sent you to go and read, though. And you lock yourself up in the library. You won't grow that way. You need to realize that you are not just your brain. You have a spirit. You have a soul. You have a body. And listen to me. Academics will at best improve your mind. It will have no connection whatsoever with your spirit. And if you are here, you came to be the youngest apostle on campus. I say congratulations to you. You might as well not graduate until the next 7 years. Because yes, I know God wants to take Futa for him. He will use you, but bro, you were sent to Futa to study, not to preach. Your parents didn't pay your school fees. If they wanted you to study to preach, they will send you to seminary. Did you hear me? So what do? You make your focus the focus, but you understand that you can't live your life on campus and neglect God, and you will graduate well. Thank God today that when I graduated from Futa, I've never wished I came back 1 second. Mommy, God bless you, ma. Let's celebrate Mommy. I've never wished 1 second that I came back to study in Futa. Maybe, had I know how I wish. Not once. On this campus, I lived. And I died. I left empty. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Explore every of your potential. And listen to me. You have just 24 hours to do that. Every day for the next 5 years. Part of the seeds we're talking about are friendships. A single conversation that births value for a person can destroy your entire life. You need to realize this morning that when you meet people, how many of you have started connecting? Some of you have WhatsApp group now, isn't it? Isn't it? Can I announce to you that you're not connecting with departmental mates? What you're connecting with in reality are spirits. This is how Google will tell you. We have close to 8 billion people on the face of the earth. But I say it in a different way, that we do not have 8 billion people. We rather have 8 billion spirits currently on the planet. And we don't have 7 continents. We have just 2 kingdoms. The kingdom of God and the kingdom of the devil. And both of them are campaigning for the spirits. So can I announce to you that you're not sitting beside a beautiful girl this morning. You are rather sitting beside a spirit. Why did I say that? Because spirits are envoys of influence. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? And when you realize that when you meet with people, you are not just exchanging values. You are transacting spirits. Some of you go to church, you must have heard this statement. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are what? Life. When you speak, you're not just speaking words. In case you doubt what I'm saying, if you're sad and you talk to a good friend and the person says, come on, you can give up now. I remember during my master's, some of us felt like giving up. So we were like a group of 4 friends and we told ourselves, come on guys, we are not men that quit. Let's finish this, man. Let's do this, man. And we left that conversation. Everybody was pumped. And I went on to lead my department, my section at master's. The person who would have led quitted because he got scholarship to study overseas. So, before that conversation, you saw all of us. This department, they won't kill us. You will hear it a lot from your seniors. Futa. Futa, I go no. Want to feel power? And somebody will say, I've met countless number of students who literally wanted to give up. And when I talk to them, what is the issue? They'll go, wow. The same lady, the same guy who came with sorrowful face, he's excited. Do you know what I just did? He didn't meet me. He met spirits. So the spirit of courage encountered him. The spirit of joy met him. The spirit of hope met him. The same way people have met spirit of discouragement in conversations. When you realize this, you will think twice before you choose a friend. So when we talk about night parties, all of your party lovers, say hi. Can I announce to you that when you go to party, you are not going to party, you are going to a party with spirits. And that's why things you never thought in your entire lifetime you can do. How dare you as a lady sleep with a guy in a toilet and you call that one night stand? How dare you? How dare you? 5 minutes before then, if anybody told you you could do that, you would say, no, me over my dead body. You that you are so conscious that you can't even share your ATM pin with your mom, but you just shared your body with a total stranger who didn't even care to ask for your name. Why? You went to a place with a negative spiritual influence. And listen to me. The same way you have a conglomerate of negative spiritual influence on campus from gatherings, you have it also positive from gatherings. So choose where you gather. Did you hear me? Because where you see people gather, there are not people gathered there. There are spirits gathered there. And when you see spirits, think influence. I'm not saying that you should walk out of this place suspecting everybody, but realize that everybody has come to transact influence. I forgot to tell you this morning that I came to do the same thing. And I'm telling you, none of you will leave this place the same way you came. You can't. You can't. Because while you see me speaking to you, there are other voices assisting my voice to get this truth to your heart. Why? God sent you to Futa to prosper. Africa is bleeding. Nigeria is sick. Oh, aren't you a Christian? Oh, am I? I'm just telling you the reality. We need more vision, nation builders. And that's why I came this morning. Because the more visionaries we raise from Africa, from Futa, the more young men and women who have understanding that they were brought here for a definite purpose and they have signed up to give their best before they breathe their last breath, the more Africa will advance. Can I tell you this? That we have never been bad and backward because we are black-skinned. I'm sure you know that once you remove the first layer from the skin, all of us look alike. I hope you know. Melanin made us black. It's just a pigmentation. If you open the skull of a white man and the skull of a black man, we all look the same upstairs. So what defines our reality is never our skin color. It's not even our geography. It's our mind. And that is what I was sent to address this morning. Your ideas. That is what makes you, your ideas. You are your ideas. Thank God that I studied biology. Cell is the discrete unit of life, isn't it? Your ideas, your thought patterns is the discrete unit of your life. Tell yourself 2 times, say, I am my thoughts. Say it twice. I can't hear you this morning. I'm sure you are familiar with the statement. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You may not like the Bible. You may not like Christianity. And I'm not asking you to do. But that truth is true. And nothing can be done against it. You are your thoughts. Do you know that many years back, I sat here as an undergraduate and I told myself that someday, I don't know how long it will take, I will stand on this podium and I will talk to young people. I have done it. This is the 3rd time. Why? As a man thinketh in his heart. Don't think your thought is weak. Did you hear me? Till tomorrow, thank God it's not a regret now because I've reproduced myself in lots of people. I told myself, I don't need to graduate with a 1st class. I don't need it. I told myself just a 4-point will do. Until tomorrow, I never graduated undergraduate with a 1st class. Guess what? I didn't even finish with a 4-point. I graduated with 3.67. By the time I woke up to realize that there was a thought pattern I picked up somewhere, I don't know who lied to me that I don't really need to finish with a 1st class. I don't know who told me. I don't know where I picked that idea from. I just noticed that I was reading, but it didn't matter how much I read. I never went past. The best result I had was 4.50. And my result changed when I changed my thinking in 300 level. So I can tell you for free, your thoughts are powerful. Don't think you're just writing stuffs on the board. I will teach you tomorrow, if time permit me, why your thoughts do not equate to your result. I will teach you. It's a different teaching. But don't underestimate your thoughts. Right now, all of you seated here can finish with a 1st class. All of you. Futa will not drop anybody. There are no demons inside Futa. There are fathers, there are professors. Those in the university council, they are fathers, they have kids like you. If you deserve it, they will give it to you. In fact, they will say there is never a set since the inception of Futa that did this much. You can. There are departments that produces over 10 1st class. Daddy, am I right? Some 12. If you deserve it, it will be given to you. So don't think that 1st class thing is just for some selected few. You are part of the selected few. You are not part of the rejected majority. No. Your thoughts. Finally, on that point, the reality, some of the things that call us the beginning. Can I announce to you again that scavengers are scouting? Some of you, if you didn't study biology well, or you're not so confident as an ego, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Talk back to me, please. Am I right? The only difference is that one feeds on living things, one feeds on dead things. Currently, there are scavengers all over. I saw some of them yesterday in SOS. Some of you are saying, sir, how do you know them? It's because when I'm working, I told you I'm not working alone. These highs, you see with your mind. And if you are from where I came from, you don't just have the highs of your mind. There are young men who are looking for girls to exploit. Well, you will only fall on their plate as a peace offering if you die. So I want to charge you this morning, whatever you do for the next 5 years, leave. Somebody says, sir, currently we are all living. I don't think so. Because you need to realize that breathing is not the same thing as living. You can be a breathing dead being. Did you hear what I just said? A breathing what? Dead being. How do you prove that you are living? First, not by your doing, by your being. That's why they call us human beings. There is a being that is more powerful than your doing. We are not human doings. We are human beings. Can you say that, everybody? Say human being, not human doing. So I want to ask you this morning, who are you? Who are you?